being in a bad situation makes you feel awful. You're in a bad mood because you get scolded for being late to work. Sometimes you have a headache, but you really need to get your homework done. And life becomes a pain. But some people just don't seem to give a damn and continue being happy despite what they're going through. And even though you're hard on yourself to make progress, these people seem to be more consistent towards their goals compared to you. It's probably hard to deny the fact that if you felt at least a little more good about what you're going through, it becomes a lot easier to get through your struggle. But first things first, everyone has bad days, right? You might be saying, yeah, I've had a few bad days. But the thing is, those days aren't inherently good or bad. We just make it out to be. If some guy comes up to you and says, your eyes are blue, what's your reaction? You'd be like, yeah, I mean, they are, or they aren't. But if another guy comes up to you and calls you chubby or says you have a big nose, it's offensive. It's only because you've learned that the labels of chubby or having a big nose is bad. Oh, things like eye color, they're just color, right? When we have a bad day, it's really just putting a label on a series of consequences. Things happen. There are things that happen throughout the day, but we just label them as good or bad. But since the label of good or bad relies on how we view it, we can change that. And in result, change how we feel about a situation. Okay, but how do we change how we feel about a situation? There's really only two steps. See the situation for what it is, and then compare it to what it could be. Let's say it's raining outside and you have to go to the gym, but you really don't want to. You find yourself using the rain as an excuse to not go to the gym. But one question you might ask yourself is, what's the most realistic outcome of the situation? It might be that your shoes will get wet, or you'll get wet without an umbrella. You might slip and fall. It might make your shoes smell bad. And if you actually wanted to go, it might take more effort to prepare. Right? I wouldn't say those are unrealistic. And it shows that, yeah, there are probably consequences to going to the gym when it's raining. But what if it was hailing instead of raining? How much more pain would you be if it was hailing? Your umbrella might be torn apart. You might get hit in the head and cause injury to your head. What if it was a thunderstorm and it was hailing instead? All of a sudden, walking in the rain isn't so bad. What if for like the past 3 years it was heavy rain, but now it's light rain? You'd be like, this is awesome, right? Things are improving. And even though those are extreme hypotheticals, there's really no limit to it. Because depending on what you compare your thoughts to, you can artificially control whether the situation looks good or bad, right? Being 200 pounds with no muscle might get people to make fun of you. But what if you were a celebrity and then you had the whole internet on your ass, right? So like today for me, I'm extremely tired. I took a nap and I was even tired in my dreams, which was kind of funny. And I need to make my video and do my drawings. And a realistic outcome that might occur is that I'll need to put more effort and time into scripting while dealing with my blurry vision. And usually that's enough to make my brain convince me that I shouldn't work because I'm just not feeling it, right? But if I compare it to, if I had COVID, or if I was so dizzy that I couldn't even lift my head straight, right? Compared to that, doing work is easy. And comparing it to worse situations exposes the fact that I do have the capability to do what I need to do and focus. Even though it's not easy, I've become more willing to do it because I know that it could be worse and that the situation that I'm in right now isn't really that bad. I haven't done gratitude journaling for a while, and I feel like this is kind of similar. You're kind of just being grateful for your situation, but I personally like this more because it becomes an active weapon for me to use, and it helps me deal with my current situation. So like instead of saying I'm grateful for having parents and putting me in like a semi-good mood that way, it deals with the situation that I think is bad, and it just completely removes the resistance, and I can see how it makes me progress. So yeah, I hope this helps.